right, first and foremost, I'd like to start off with giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity. I just wanted to, get into a quick video real quick. I woke up and I was looking at the news. I had my TV on, put my TV be on mute most of the time, because I'll be watching another television. But that's none to say that when I was watching the news, and I heard some reports. So they're giving the Marines steak and lobster. All right, steak and lobster. It's akin to a prisoner's last meal. What they do is that's symbolic for, when they're going on a major operation, they give the soldiers a good meal. All right, because when they go into that field or that area operation, they're not going to have, the benefits of, the meals that they have on the base. All right. And also, I also seen they had the No Kings protest yesterday, which people, are outside, protesting because, they don't like the policies of this current administration. All right. And we're in the time of prophecy. This war is escalating. All right. Escalating. There's an escalation going on. Even though they're telling you that they're ramping down military operations and so on and so forth. There was more missile strikes. You just had the Houthis, they're an ally of Iran. They entered into the war. All right, and they can close up another strait where oil is transported through. And that's the big talk. So the global stability is at risk. All right, there's a lot of things happening. And this is a beautiful time that we're in. All right, because the words of the Lord are speaking. All right, I'm trying to think. Now let me get this precept in 2nd Ezra. Okay, because we are indeed in those times. We've been in those times. All right, but these times are about to increase. Okay. The 2nd Ezra 9:1, it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." So we're seeing these times, we're measuring the times. All right, we're measuring the time. So it seems like if they don't have boots on the ground now, because we see the pattern of these wars that go on typically Friday night into Saturday morning. All right, you saw that October 7th. Okay, you saw that when they launched this operation, and also that 15-day war, the exchange of missiles between Iran and Israel. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised in the midst of the Passover that there'd be some major announcements, taking place in regards to boots on the ground, if they're not already boots on the ground, but serious escalations with putting soldiers in the line of fire in this war in Iran. Now, they said they said that they have a 1 million-man volunteer army. Okay, and this is how we're measuring the times. The escalations, the counter escalations, the rhetoric that's being said between both parties, and then the other parties outside. So you have North Korea, you have China. North Korea said they would send soldiers. They said they would send soldiers. In the conflict, North Korea sent soldiers to Ukraine. So this is an escalating third world war. All right, the Heavenly Father is beginning to visit. All right, the world in which He made. All right, starts with the hearing of His word. All right, starting with his word going forth. And his word is going to be made manifest right before the people. All right. Verse 3 says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Just a few weeks ago, we seen earthquakes in this society. Oh, in America. Multiple earthquakes in California. It was reported. Well, hey, man, it's just a lot of stuff that's happening. You say meteoroids are dropping from the sky. So there's a lot of things that's happening, okay? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, just recently, an uproar of the people, like with the No Kings protests, people are in uproar because we're in that time, and it's going to increase. It's going to intensify. These things are going to intensify. All right, they're going to become more extreme. All right, because the stakes are higher. All right, now we're coming into a time of food shortages, supply shortages, which is going to increase in the uproars of the people. Okay? Mentally, these people are going to be demoralized. All right? Verse 4 says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Yeah. Matter of fact, and I'll land back off of that with another precept declaring the beginning from the ending. When we see these things, we know that this is what the Heavenly Father preordained to happen, or pre-prescribed through the scriptures to happen, meaning it was pre-written. All right, when we see these things, we know that these are the things that the Heavenly Father spoke aforetime through his servants, the prophets. All right. This is Isaiah 46:10, or I'll start at 9. It says, remember this and show yourselves. I'll start at 8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old. For I am Yahweh, and there is none beside. There's none else. There's no one, no other power. All right, in comparison to the power of Israel, and his name is Yahweh. All right, and he declares that I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am the power. All right, he is a living power, and there is none like me. All right, there is none like him. We line up all of these books. Where are the prophecies that the Lord spoke in the ancient days, thousands of years ago, and how are they being manifest right now? We put that up against any book. Okay? What book is foretelling you of a digital system that's coming to the earth in which man cannot buy or sell? All right? What book is telling you of a specific people that have been placed into power to be taken out of power at a appointed time to show that the Lord indeed is a living power that ruleth amongst men? All right? There's no other book. All right? There's none other. There's no other book. Okay? And it says, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Yeah, the Lord revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets. All right, and we have, another word for secrets, the Lord's counsel. The Lord's counsel has been revealed to precious men in his sight, to declare unto the people whether they hear or forbear, whether they believe or they don't believe. All right, so when it's made manifest, he can get the glory. Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, the living power who declared it from the beginning, and hid his face, But I'm in the video here, man. That's what I just meditating, man. This things escalate, and it can trigger at any moment. All right, it can trigger at any moment. So we have to constantly pray to Yahweh B'Shem El Shah that we, don't be overtaken by the cares of this world. All right, because the cares of this world, they're deceptive. They're very deceptive. Because when all hell breaks loose in America, truly speaking, the things that people are, stressed out about and in perplexity, in their mind, is all over the place, it's not going to really matter. All right, it's not going to be people not going to be worried about their credit report. They're not going to be worried about the basic things of this society. This society get ready to collapse. All right. I'm in the video here called Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Green Millstone, and salutation to you brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity. It's really about to go down. It's going to come, we're looking for a financial collapse, which is going to trigger the implementation of the MOTB. Okay? And we're right at the edge of the cliff of that. Okay? We're approaching the edge of that cliff. The end of this road. All right? So, until the next video, shalom.